Ryan Fitzpatrick is here, one of our favorite guests. He went to Aruba. He's here on behalf of just the beauty of Aruba.
Have you been?
Yeah, when I was really young.
Oh, it was incredible. So my wife and I went. Now, we've got 7 kids. We haven't been away, just us two, in quite some time. So there were some nerves. It was like a first date. What are we going to talk about? We can't talk about the kids. We were rattled a little bit, but the country is so amazing. One happy island. We figured that out right away.
Yeah.
Even just feeling rejuvenated when you're there. We feel lighter and happier being back in the States now, but it's a great blend of you have the great hotels, the white sand beaches, and then you also have the adventure. Did some hiking in the national parks. We were in a natural pool. We did some snorkeling. It was awesome.
What did you talk about with your wife?
Lots of stuff. There was some pillow talk. Do you want to get into that or no? No, we shouldn't get into that.
I don't have that much time.
We checked into the hotel. We had 2 separate beds, 2 queen beds. So there were some decisions that had to be made, but I'll tell you off air what we ended up doing.
All right, let's talk about football for a second. Maybe you talked about football in Aruba, maybe you didn't. I don't know. Sam Darnold, the quarterback's journey to me is so fascinating because there's not a lot of guys who actually get to do it, right? Like, there's a lot of Sam Darnolds, and the NFL just gives up on him. And then he doesn't get Minnesota Sam Darnold and Seattle Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Do you think, and maybe this is wishful thinking, you've done it, do you think that this will teach teams to be more patient with quarterbacks?
No.
No
chance. Because, look, it wasn't going to work with Sam in New York.
Right.
The infrastructure wasn't there. There were very few people, probably Lamar, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, that you can plop on any team and that team will be a playoff contending team regardless of circumstance. There are very few quarterbacks like that. I think Sam's a great example of if you have the infrastructure right around him, then he's going to be very good. We saw that in Minnesota last year. We see it in Seattle this year. I don't think this is going to preach more patience. I think if anything, what it's going to preach is we have to get everything else right around the quarterback before we insert said quarterback. Seattle's a good example of that, though, and what they did and all the moves they made last year to put Sam in a situation to be advantageous.
I'm with you. This might be a stupid question, but when you talk about the guys who prop open a playoff window wherever they go, if Joe Burrow was on a Division III team in the middle of Ohio, they'd win a bunch of games, right? What is that? Is that a combination of physical talent, a certain type of personality, processing? Like what leads a quarterback to make everybody good?
I think it's all of those things, and it's also then when they walk into the room, there's a different feel. The aura around them, the fact that they're going to make everybody around them better when they step into a room, and those 4 guys definitely have that. It's a tough thing. You have to have all the physicals to go with it, yes, but they just are at the next level in terms of the aura around them and willing people to be better for them.
You mentioned this, how it wouldn't work with the Jets. I'm just going to say this, and then you can take wherever you want. Broadly speaking, what's wrong with the Jets? Why is it that we've been for 20 years saying it was never going to work with the Jets? 30 years.
Yeah, it's been quite a while. I mean, I think their last winning season was 2015. I'm trying to think of who the quarterback was. I was there.
He was there.
It's been tough, and they've tried a bunch of different ways to do it. They've had different GMs, they've had a bunch of different head coaches, and they continue to try the same things over and over again and haven't been able to get it right. But we'll see with Darren Muji. I mean, I think I've had some conversations with him, and he understands and gets the infrastructure thing and trying to get that part of it right first. So unfortunately for New York fans in general, not counting the Bills, we're talking about the Giants and the Jets, it just hasn't been good for a while, and I think there's a lot more optimism surrounding the Giants right now than the Jets.
There is, and I think John Harbaugh is an awesome coach. I live in that area. My read on it is the Jets and the Giants are very similar, but the Giants won't admit it. You get what I'm saying? Like, Giants fans can never admit to themselves they're in the same place as the Jets, and that's part of their problems too. Is like they won't admit they're at rock bottom. They won't do it. So we'll see what happens with John Harbaugh. We'll keep an eye on it. I think he's an awesome coach. We'll see. Buffalo. there's going to be a roof over the fans' heads. They're not going to be able to get snowed on. Is Western New York going to be soft this time next year?
A canopy. There's going to be
There's gonna be a canopy.
Yeah, there's going to be a canopy. No, they're not going to be soft. It's still going to be freezing out there. And plus, think about what happens before the game. When it's cold, when it's the blizzard-like conditions, they're still out in the parking lot tailgating. They still have those barrel trash cans with holes in the bottom with fire coming out the top to warm their hands. They're not soft because they have to live in it constantly. I've got two friends that just came out to Arizona to visit, and there's a streak of weather right now going on in Buffalo where it hasn't got over 10 degrees in a certain amount of days. I mean, there's a grittiness to that city, and the canopy will not make them soft.
I was in Western New York for a story, I don't know, about a decade ago, and I didn't know this could happen. I drove down, and it was a one-way street, tried to go back up, or a cul-de-sac, tried to go back up, and the ice, I just couldn't drive. The ice was like preventing me from going. And so I had to call AAA.
Yeah.
Which is the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened.
Did you get laughed at by the AAA?
Yes. Wow. I'm from Florida. I was in a sedan, not an SUV, and the guy goes, I wish I had better news for you. You just have to go really fast up this icy hill, and you'll eventually get there. And I said, well, I might die. And they said, yeah, that too, but that's just kind of how
You're still
we
here,
have
though.
to live.
You're still here.
I did it.
Yeah.
And AAA, I probably should. I can't show my face around Western New York AAA guys.
That's tough.
Really ever
but
again.
If anybody knows you, they know you love to live dangerously. So I think
you could tell.
Yeah.
You could tell this guy wants to drive 50 miles per hour
on
up a
ice.
residential
Yes.
icy hill. When did you know Buffalo people were different? Having grown up in Arizona and all that, you get to Buffalo and you're like, oh, these guys are different. What was the moment?
I mean, Buffalo for me, I started in St. Louis, then went to Cincinnati, and then Buffalo. Buffalo was the first time I became a full-time starter. Right. So I think there was a connection there. I was there for 4 years, so that's the longest tenure I had of any team. But it was a match made in heaven right away because of the grittiness, because the city of good neighbors, like it's such good people. We bought a $280,000 house, and we lived, it's like, funny to think about now. It's like we lived on a great street with great neighbors, and we played outside in the front yard. We all had kids kind of the same age, and every Sunday was come home from the game. We played a lot of 1 o'clock games.
A lot of 1 p.m.
Come home from the game. Everybody has a crock pot that's been cooking all morning, and we sit in the front yard and we crock pot, and we have some beers, and maybe we mow some lawns, and that was it. And that's when I knew, like, the city of Buffalo got me, and I got them, and it was a match made in heaven.
This game on Sunday is one how?
So one of two ways. I mean, I think New England has the tough part. If you watch like the Seattle-San Francisco game, that got out of hand very quickly. There was obviously the kickoff return for the touchdown. There was a fumble early by San Fran. All of a sudden you look up and it's 17-0. That can't happen to New England if they want to be in this football game. I think as long as New England keeps this thing close, the longer they keep it close, the tighter Seattle gets, and I do think that New England's going to win this football game.
You do?
I do. Not a lot of people do.
I think it's going to be close.
Yeah, 27-24. I'm feeling
27-24.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think to 21-17 Seahawks. I'm a coward.
You're a coward.
I'm a coward. I can't pick. I think the Seahawks are going to win.
Yeah.
I maybe think the Patriots are going to win secretly, but I don't want to go out on a limb like that.
You can't go on and say, because, I mean, if you're wrong, then
I don't get paid.
Yeah,
I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if you knew that.
No, I'm
on
in the same
ESPN.
boat now as well. Yeah.
Anybody who gets to take wrong on ESPN, we work for free for a year.
Yeah,
I don't know
you're
if
done.
you knew that. That's
Yeah.
why we're always so like, oh, geez. And so
you really
it's
got
a
to
dirty-
take these picks
it's
serious.
It's an
then.
industry secret, and last thing for you. So we had Flacco on yesterday, and the question was actually about quarterback development. And he took it in a way,
A completely different
he
way.
just got done with personal fouls. If Roger Goodell calls Ryan Fitzpatrick and says, and almost, I'm talking about with Sam Darnold a little bit, but he says, Ryan, we want to figure out how to develop quarterbacks better in this league. What would you tell him?
I think quarterbacks, if you go and watch a high school game now, high school is so far ahead of where it used to be. If you go and watch college games, I think quarterback-wise, it's very much farther ahead than it used to be. I think part of it is the simplicity and the trickle up of these college offenses into the NFL.
Yeah.
NFL offenses have become a little more simplistic. We see a lot more of the bubble screens and the RPOs and those type of things. So for me, it's not just a quarterback development issue. It's these coordinators too, and how in tandem can we continue to push the game forward. And part of it is just emphasis on the things that we're trying to do, pushing the ball down the field, making a quarterback read the field, drop back passing, third down, not giving up, waving the white flag and throwing screens. That stuff in the last few years to me has gotten a little bit harder to watch because it's taken away from some of these great quarterbacks and their play. So I think it's both quarterback play and coordinators and play calling. We just need to see a few of these teams that aren't doing the simple, easy things get to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, then all of a sudden it has a trickle-down effect rather than trickle up from college.
I think it's the path of least resistance for some of these OCs. It's, hey, we have a young quarterback or whatever. Let's run some of his college plays, run RPOs, simple stuff, and then there's no there. There's nothing beyond the curtain, right?
Yeah.
And so that's how it ends up happening. Is there an OC you think that typifies what the development, the not complicated offense, but the full fleshed out offense? Is there a play caller you look at and you go, that guy's doing it right?
Josh McDaniels is that guy in terms of, when I got with Bill O'Brien, my, 10th year in the league, when I was in Houston and signed with him his first year there, this is the New England offense, the New England way. I learned more about football in that 1 year than I did the rest of my playing career. And so that to me, and the New England offense is dying a little bit, right? Yeah. There haven't been a lot of disciples from that offense that have been successful, but Josh McDaniels, the pressure he puts on defenses, but also the pressure and the thinking he puts on his quarterback before the snap to get him in the right play, to do the right thing, he would be one guy I would love to play for.
Awesome. Ryan Fitzpatrick, he went to Aruba. He had 2 queen beds.
Aruba!
Thank you, buddy.
All right, thank you.
Chris Russo is here, SiriusXM, Mad Dog Radio, one of my favorite Radio Row.
Hello, buddy. How's my main man?
I am doing great. How is Radio Row treating you so far?
We've had a pretty, couple, again, it's condensed. And so to get everybody on, it's tricky. We got the NFL Network over there, too, from football.
Yeah.
But, McCaffrey was good. Kyron Williams of the Rams was good. Did Matt Ryan today. He did a good job. I got a lot of running backs.
Yes.
Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
So a lot of the running backs early. But, again, these things you do is so many interviews, and you hope a couple click.
Yeah, that's
how you do it.
Too.
Not everyone is going to be super. Yeah. Ashton Jeanty I had on, too.
Very good, yeah.
So you do as many you do as many of these guys you can. And if you get 3 or 4 real good ones, you're happy with that.
Flood the zone. That's what we say. You just
flood
keep going, play the numbers game, and then good things will happen.
Absolutely.
Do you like San Francisco?
Well, I do like the city. I think having the Super Bowl here is stupid. They gave it to them once before.
Yeah.
You can't have the teams 45 miles away. I mean, everything that you need, media day and what have you, they're down in San Jose. They might as well be called the San Jose 49ers. I mean, it's 44 miles. I know the city and the residents of San Francisco, there's some groups who don't like the idea that the Niners kind of left town. Giants stayed, Warriors stayed, Niners left. Everybody hates the stadium. Again, I mean, listen, the NFL does what it has to do. Weather's been good restaurants, hotels, San Francisco, you can walk around. But the teams being so far away, I think takes some of it away. And I'm surprised they gave them a second city. They gave them the first one because they built the stadium, but I'm surprised they gave them a second Super Bowl.
I heard a theory from one of people in our industry, that because of the World Cup, a lot of these stadiums like SoFi and Miami didn't want it this year because they want to focus on that. I don't know. Maybe that's just a theory I heard. Haven't substantiated it. Do you like the idea of a rotation? Do you like the idea of some people float this where it's just Miami, New Orleans, Phoenix, LA over and over and over again?
I don't mind them bouncing around. I thought the Super Bowl in Indianapolis was good. I've been to Minnesota twice for the Super Bowl. The first one, Washington and Buffalo, way back, was very good. They embraced the weather. The Giant one wasn't good at MetLife. They threw the Giants a bone, and they had the cold weather one outdoors. That wasn't a good spot to have it. I don't mind them bouncing around. I mean, listen, Phoenix, Vegas, L.A., Atlanta, New Orleans. The one thing about the West Coast, it's tricky for them with getting the radio stations to come who do morning shows. Because if you have a morning radio station in the East Coast, you can't come and get a morning show. You can't come to the West Coast because it's 3 a.m. you're on. Yeah. So you can't come. And it's a long way to come. It helps me because I'm on in the afternoon, so there's more people milling around at noontime than there would be late in the afternoon. Yeah. But I don't mind mixing it up, and I did like Indianapolis, Kev. I thought they did a very good job in Indianapolis when they had it at Lucas Oil Stadium.
And everything's inside. They know what they are. They know they're an indoor city. Let's build tunnels. Everything's in a 5-block radius.
You can walk.
Yes, SF. I mean, come on. We went to media night the other night.
It took an hour and a half to get there, right?
An hour and a half.
It's
an
ridiculous.
hour and a half.
You can't have. That's like putting the Super Bowl in New York and having media day in Hartford. I mean, it's the dumbest. It's so stupid. I mean, and I am shocked that the NFL gave San Francisco, for whatever the reason, the stadium isn't that good.
No.
It's not like it's a special facility. Yeah, we all got to see it. No, we don't want to see it. It's a dump. It's a terror. Everybody can't stand it. No, I've only been by it, but I know everybody moaned about it 10 years ago. They hated the place, traffic especially, and everything else. So I'm a little puzzled by that. The city of San Francisco, I don't have a problem with. I know everybody's about the homeless and everything else. So that's always an angle there. But, listen, San Francisco is a pretty town. I've been here a million times. I did the first take outside. It was good. Good, beautiful setting. So restaurants, I don't have a problem with that. I do have a problem with the location of where the teams are.
And the other thing about Santa Clara, it's a charmless. You mentioned Hartford, it's charmless. I'm not saying Hartford's charmless.
San Jose. You talk about San Jose.
I'm talking about where the stadium is, Santa Clara, and then San Jose. There's just nothing. You get off the highway, there's a stadium, there's a Six Flags nearby. It's not like it's in some cute little. It's bad. It's bad. The whole thing is bad.
And at 44 miles away, because the city of San Francisco is never going to build a 49ers stadium.
No.
And to me, listen, I'm not saying on game day what the fans are into it, but to me, I'm going back to Kezar. It's not Kezar back in 1965 with John Brody. Trust me. And it's not early days of Candlestick with Montana, Rice, and everybody else. I just think that it's a puzzle of why the owners decided to put it here.
Agree. All right. So everybody's talking about Belichick Kraft Hall of Fame, and we've all done our takes on that and stuff like that. If Roger Goodell calls you or the head of the Hall of Fame calls you and says, how do we overhaul, if they should, how do we overhaul the Hall of Fame selection process? What are you saying?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is there's two things I'm going to do right out of the gate. The first thing is I'm not putting players up against contributors. Okay, I can't put 3 players up against 2 contributors and then only vote for 3 of them. Because somebody, and if it's the players last year in the ballot, you're going to have a situation like we did last year or this year where some guys feel bad for the Andersons, the Greenwoods, and the Taylor and the Craigs, and they're going to vote for them thinking that down the road Kraft and Belichick will get their turn, and this is their last opportunity, the 3 players, so I got to be nice and give them a vote. That's the first thing. That can't happen. Number 2, if you're a writer here, this is not nuclear physics. I want to know who you voted for.
Yes.
This is professional sports. This is fun. This is the candy store. I tell people who I vote for at the Heisman when I have that Heisman vote, and I've done it for 100 years. We don't have the Hall of Fame votes and everything else, but I do have a Heisman, and I always tell people who I vote for. This is sports. Don't be worried. If you get media attacked on social media, don't read social media. Who cares? I mean, be honest and say, hey, you know what? I voted for this guy, and this guy, and here are the reasons. If you don't like it, tough. This is sports. This is the way it is. The idea that this is some secretive ballot and we can't find the 11 who did not vote for Belichick, and Dungy, who has a vote, didn't tell anybody who he voted for. Tony. All right? You're going to have the privilege to vote. I want to know as a fan who you voted for. I have a right. If you don't want to tell us, then take a name out of it and don't vote. And you no longer make yourself a Hall of Fame voter. So that, to me, is most baseball guys, you know what their ballot is. They tell you, and there's 500 writers anyway. Most the Heisman, most of the time you find out. The NBA and all the MVP things, you kind of find out who each guy voted for. For some reason, the 50 people who vote for the Hall of Fame, it's some state secret.
It's insane.
Oh, it's so stupid.
Because it's so political, and they have the guys who...
What are you afraid of? Show some guts. Tell us who you voted for crying out loud. It's sports. And Dungy running around, well, I'm not telling you who I voted for. I'm not going to answer the question. Well, then, you know what, Tony? Here's the deal. I'm not interested in who you vote for. Take your name off the stupid ballot, and you're no longer allowed to vote. Have the people vote. Tell, hey, I voted for Anderson, Belichick, and Kraft. And if you want to know why, I'll explain. That's it. And we move on. I don't understand why it's so secretive.
I also just don't understand, the people who've come out and say, oh, I didn't vote for Belichick because I voted for Ken Anderson or Roger Craig. That's not a good argument. Belichick was better at his job.
Yes, he was.
God bless Ken Anderson and Roger Craig. Two great players. Belichick's the best coach of all time.
Absolutely.
If Roger Craig was the best in his position, or Ken Anderson was, that's one thing. But it's just crazy.
Let me read you something
Oh, please.
that Peter King sent me today.
Okay.
Former Hall of Fame voter.
Absolutely.
All right?
One of the greats.
Peter's one of the old-timers. He doesn't vote anymore. But let me send you something he sent me today, if I may, because Peter was puzzled here. The way the system works, you're eligible as a modern era finalist beginning 5 years after your retirement. Then you are eligible for 15 years to be one of 15 modern era finalists. Kenny Anderson was eligible to be a modern era finalist from 1992 to 2006.
Oh, my God.
He was voted to be a finalist twice in those 15 years. So the voters did not think he was worthy of being in the top 15 for 13 of his 15 eligible seasons. And now because he's ineligible one last time, people want to vote him in? That is an excellent point. We've had 30 years to
Great
vote
point.
Kenny Anderson in the
Great.
Hall of Fame, and now because it's his last one, let's throw him a bone and make him a Hall of Famer. That is not what the Hall of Fame is about.
Bill Belichick didn't get in the first ballot because someone who was eligible in 1992 is gaining momentum.
And I'll tell you the other thing I don't like. Well, you got to get 80% of the votes, so
Yeah.
you got to get 40 of the 50. But if nobody gets 40 of the 50, we'll take the most votes out of that to get into the Hall of Fame. Hold on now. You get 40 votes, you're in.
Yeah.
If you get 36 and you have the most of the other 5, that doesn't mean you get in. You didn't get the 80%. So you can't have it both ways. Well, we'll take you get 40, you get in. But if you lead the pack at 36, we'll throw you in. That's not the way they're supposed to work.
No.
If 80% is your number, 80% is your number.
It's
A joke.
It's a joke.
I can write a book about the stupid Hall of Fame. I really can.
All right. You mentioned not looking at social media if you don't like it. Do you ever look at social media?
Never.
Never.
No.
You've
Well,
never.
I mean, I know what I look at it when they put the Mad Abouts on there on ESPN. I'll look at.
Yeah.
I'll look at those.
Yeah.
But as far as reading it, following it, what people say, I just can't. I pay no attention to it because if I do, I'll basically be paralyzed by afraid I might annoy somebody and I can't do something right because I'll set somebody off and I'll get a lot of people mad at me. I'll do the radio show. I'll do what I have to do. And if you don't like it, well, they'll take me off one of these days. What am I going to tell you? I got to do what I got to do. So I don't pay too much attention to it. I always wonder when I put something out there how many hits it gets.
Yeah.
But that's not because, my ego wants to know.
Sure.
But as far as reading it, following it, responding with a response,
Cannot
never
do it.
pay attention.
Cannot do it. Do you check any social media? Facebook, Twitter,
No,
Instagram? Never.
People tell me.
People tell you.
But they say, boy, did you see this? But I never check it. Oh, Valdez signed with the Tigers.
Yeah.
And so, from that standpoint, I'll find out. But as far as me is concerned, getting reaction and seeing what people are saying or thinking prior or during or after a show or an appearance somewhere, like with you, I see it. I want to read the comments. I won't read the comments because you spend all day reading the comments. I don't want to read the comments. Here's the deal. If you don't like it, what can I tell you?
The best
Sooner or later-
compliment
sooner or
I ever.
later- Sooner or later, you let me go anyway.
The best compliment I ever got was I think it was on Peter. You went on Peter Schrager's podcast 2 years ago, and what you said was that your son told you that our appearance had juice. That's what it was, and that's all you need to know. You don't need to know the hits. You don't need to know what people are saying. Either it has juice or it doesn't. Mad Dog.
And Colin Russo, who listens to everything, said, I heard the Kevin Clark one and had a lot of juice. So there you go.
That's all we need.
That's all you need.
That's all we need.
And Nance, I told you the other day,
Yes.
did a great job for you.
Yes, he was amazing.
That's a great
He
job.
was amazing. I went to University of Miami, and I was at the national championship game, and we were crowd crushed because there was Secret Service and all that stuff, and so we were just sitting there for an hour. Very mouthy Indiana fans behind me. I've got my wife. I've got a couple other friends, and they can't see who we are or anything like that. Very mouthy. And I turned around and I said, do we have an issue, fellas? Because I just want them to stop, okay? And they say, no issue, no issue, no issue. One of them comes up to me and just whispers, I loved the Jim Nance episode.
Wow, how about that?
And I said,
You
that's
never
it.
know. You
that's
never know.
it.
Made you feel
They said it
good.
meant so much to me. I was like,
Yeah.
that's what
You
it's
never
all
know.
about.
You never know who's listening. You never know who's reacting. That's what makes it fun when you do this job.
That's it. All right. Number one sports story, last thing for you that you're looking forward to in 2026 that you think not enough people are going to be talking about. Any sport. Any sport.
Wow. One sports story coming up in 2026. Well, McElroy won the Masters, so I can't use
Yep.
that. Sinner and Alcaraz have played 1,000,000 times already. I saw him at the
I
French
know.
Open. I can't use that. I don't think Djokovic is going to win a major, so I can't use that. The Dodgers are so good, so I can't. I can't go
know.
crazy with that. Hockey, the NBA. I got to come up with something for you. Let me think. I'll come up with something. Tennis. Give me a sport. College hoops.
College hoops, and we do. I mean, you get the Dodgers. I mean, that could be a story.
You know what? I'll do that. The Dodgers going for a three-peat.
Yeah. I've never seen a team like this.
I mean, they won 2 in a row. Very fortunate to beat the Blue Jays. Great series. They bring Tucker in. They bring Diaz in. They seem to be very committed to winning 3 in a row. They made that big deal last year when they won it 2 times in a row. There'd be a lot of pressure on them. Who knows if we'll have baseball in 27 anyway.
That's a big deal.
So we don't know about that. So maybe have to cherish baseball this year. So I'll say the Dodgers' ability and their quest to do what the Yankees did in 98, 99, and 2000. First time in a quarter of a century to win 3 straight.
I will say this. Before my child was born, I asked you Mets or Yankees, and you said Mets for my son. He has become obsessed with the Yankees. And so we watch basically every game.
Wow.
So I'm hoping that the Yankees are at least decent.
That'd be good.
For 3-year-old
Cole
Teddy
will help
Clark.
them.
Yes.
That'd be good. You got Judge sitting there. The Yankees will be good. So he's a big baseball fan, huh?
Huge.
Wow.
The other night, so he's 3. His favorite player is Aaron Judge. I'm giving him Aaron Judge stickers every time he has a good day, okay? The other night in the crib, I give him the Aaron Judge sticker, and he goes, Dad, when are you going to buy me a Cody Bellinger sticker?
Oh, my God. He knew he signed? He knew he resigned?
Oh.
Wow, that's pretty good. It's 3 years
It's actually
age.
insane. It's actually insane.
Wow.
He's might be a GM one day. I don't even know what the hell's going on. It's crazy.
That is.
I don't love baseball. That's the thing. Is people are like, oh, you must be pushing it. You're a sports guy. No. I'm a pro football, college football, golf. I want him into that stuff. He is just gravitates towards baseball in a way I've never seen a child gravitate
That's very odd.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
loves the Yankees. Hey,
Loves
you know
the
what? Take
Yankees.
advantage of it. Baseball, when it's played at its highest level, I think is still the best game because there's no clock, 27 outs,
100%.
drama on every pitch. Now, remember, you don't get many of them.
Right.
But when you get to the Toronto Dodgers, is a perfect example.
Perfect example.
On that particular level, I think it's the best sport. So there you go. Good for him.
And
Excellent.
you learn I was a little bit of a baseball nerd when I was a kid because I was a sports nerd. Analytics part of it. There's just so much to learn. The history part of it. You learn about America through baseball.
In a lot of ways you do. I think that the Dodgers three-peat will be something that we'll keep an eye on this year.
Absolutely.
That'd be interesting.
Chris Russo, thank you so
We
much,
love
buddy.
you. Great to be on. You do a tremendous job.
Thank you, Chris.
Okay.
Appreciate you, man. All right, Amon-Ra St. Brown is here. He is one of the best players in football. He's here with Little Caesars. He brought food. I'm hungry. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, man? I'm obviously partnered with Little Caesars. Been with them for a while now. Shot a commercial. Actually, my second commercial this summer, which was amazing. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I was with the Deal Deer. But everyone knows about the Detroit-style pizza.
Sure.
Have you had a Detroit-style pizza?
I have, yeah.
You have. What do you think about it?
I love it.
You love it?
I love all pizza. I live in New York. I'm from Florida. I don't get into the debates about New York versus Chicago versus
Right.
Detroit versus whatever.
I mean, there's no real debate. It's just Detroit-style pizza or nothing. So you have Detroit-style pizza. You've had it.
Yeah.
But there's a new Detroit-style slice and sticks, which is half Detroit-style pizza and half cheese breads on the other side. Obviously, you got your marinara sauce for only $5. So if you haven't tried it, I know you've tried the Detroit-style pizza, but you got to try the Detroit-style slice
I
and
will.
sticks.
All right. I'm in. We'll leave it here.
We'll do it
have
after.
All right. Give me the scouting report of your season in the last year. And just I've asked every current player here. We have Aiden Hutchinson on about an hour ago. We talked about it. Just what your expectations were. Did you meet them? Obviously, it wasn't the season that anybody wanted in Detroit, including yourself. But where are you right now heading into 2026?
I feel like for me, I'm never satisfied. I feel like I can always, every year I have, even if it's a good year, whatever it may be, I feel like I can always be better. And that's just the mentality that I have. And I've always had that since I was a kid, I feel like. So for me, I feel like I can be better.
Yeah.
Every year. Better for my team, better for myself. Just everything. Be better. And so there's always stuff you can work on. And that's the way I look at it. And so for me, I'm never satisfied. And so I feel like it's a mindset I've had. And yeah, I got to be better.
Two receivers in this game are greats. JSN, obviously, and then Stephon Diggs on the other side. Curious just what you noticed about each of the games. We'll start with JSN. I mean, I saw a stat the other day. Next Gen Stats does all the tracking and stuff. JSN's the first guy to ever lead. I think he leads the league in outside lining up outside yardage there. Last year, he led the league in yards from the slot. He's the first guy to ever do that, to be inside and outside and lead in both ways. What have you seen from him and his development and where he is right now?
Yeah, he's had an outstanding year. Offensive player of the year, probably, if you ask me. Between him and Puka, they both balled out. But I think he's just so smooth. I think he's, if you're a DB guarding him, it's like you don't really know if he's going to go deep, if he's going to run past, if he's going to stop. It's like he makes everything look the same. Yeah. I think how smooth he is. He's able to get in and out of his breaks. His hands are insane. I feel like he makes all the catches. Run after catch, he's good too. So you can line him up anywhere, inside, outside. And I think his connection with Sammy D has been amazing all year. To me, what stands out is how smooth he is.
Sammy D, obviously, overlap there, USC. Do the USC guys work out like the Miami guys? Like, do you guys hang out in the offseason?
Not really.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of us spend most of our time in Southern California. So we're around the same areas, but we see each other every now and then. Yeah. But I wouldn't say it's like the Miami Hurricanes.
Okay. All right. I went to Miami, so I got it. It's a special group there. But just watching Sammy D's journey, Sam Darnold's journey from a guy, in New York, they wanted to run him out of town. Right. He has to go to Carolina, rebuilding his career in SF, and now to where, Minnesota, Seattle. Frankly, if you're a quarterback who's struggling, he's your patron saint because of the journey he's been on. Did you see this coming the whole time, and did you know that eventually this day would come for Sam Darnold?
I'd be lying if I said yes. But I think Sam Darnold he's been a great player throughout his whole career. I think there's so much, criticism and emphasis on quarterbacks nowadays more than ever. And I feel like, there's a lot of it has to do with situation, team, coaches. A quarterback has a big role and it has a big part in an offense, but it's still a team game at the end of the day. You have O-line, you got to have receivers to throw to, tight ends, running backs. It's a team sport. And I think a lot of people forget that sometimes about football. They love to put all the pressure and emphasis on the quarterback. And I think Sammy D he's been in the right situation the past 2 years, and everyone's able to see now his capabilities and what he's able to do. So, I think Sam Darnold's been a great quarterback throughout his whole career. It's just he hasn't been in the right situation.
All right. What's the defense that when you're playing them maybe keeps that Wednesday night you're getting a little less sleep because you're thinking about playing that defense? What's the defense? Which defense?
Honestly, any good defense. I don't really lose sleep over any defense, I would say. But a team where going up against, they're pretty good. I mean, Seahawks have a good defense. Yeah. Patriots have a good defense. Broncos have a good defense. So any team that has a good defense, whether that's a good pass rush where the quarterback has to get the ball out quick, or they got some good DBs where it's going to be a little tougher to get open, whatever it may be. Any good defense is always like, damn, we got a good defense this week. We got to lock in. So it's never fun to play. But honestly, it's fun sometimes too, because when you do play well against a good defense, it's like, okay, we're really good.
Best DB in the league right now?
That's tough. I feel like there's a lot of good DBs. I don't know. I like Pat Surtain. We're in the same draft class.
We get that answer all the time.
We're in the same draft class. We played, in high school we went against each other. So I've known Pat for a while, but I think he's really good.
What about his game is so special?
I think he's patient.
Yeah.
He's long, which makes it already, gives himself already an advantage over a lot of DBs. He's tall and long, can run. I think he has good feet and good hips. I feel like, his patience at the line is really good. And I feel like some DBs are grabby nowadays. Yeah. A lot of grabby DBs. I feel like he's not one of those guys. He trusts his feet, and he can make a play on the ball at the end of the day too.
Yeah. All right, we do something called Badasses. Most badass guy you've ever played with. Meanest, toughest guy. When people come up to you at a restaurant and say, "Tell me a story about that guy," like the guy you're always telling. Who's your badass?
This is tough. So I can't go Detroit. We got too many badasses in Detroit. I'm gonna go Drake London at USC.
BJ just said that. This is incredible.
Yeah, he's when I was with him at SC, he was I mean, he's still nuts. You guys see what he does on Sundays now. But, I mean, when we were at SC, I felt like when he caught the ball, especially in college, like there's not one guy's not tackling him. Like you need at least 3 guys to tackle him when he was in college. And, I mean, the catches he made, I remember he came in as a freshman. We were like, we no one really knew who Drake was. I think he was like a 3-star. He wasn't highly recruited like that. And he came in as a freshman and started making plays. And then his sophomore year, he made a huge leap. And then you guys saw what he did his junior year and then ended up, getting drafted. So I would say Drake.
Wow. We've never had back-to-back people give the same guy. That speaks a lot about what Drake London's all about. All right,
I couldn't pick anyone in Detroit. We got too many dogs in Detroit.
Well, we had Aiden.
I could have said Demo, Aiden, Jameer, Jared. I got too many guys in Detroit, so I had to go to
Aiden
college.
was just talking about practicing against Penei Sewell and how it's just like
car
crash every day.
J-Mo, I keep going.
It's crazy. We do something called one rep back. You get to get back any play of your career and do it differently. What would you do?
Oh, any play of my career and do it differently? I mean, I'm just thinking of the big plays I had. I don't know. Do it differently. That's tough. I feel like I had a cat. I mean, we beat the Rams in the playoffs, but this was when we played the Rams. The year we went to the NFC Championship, I caught like a slot fade on Witherspoon, and I feel like I got tackled too easy. Like I could have made the guy miss and maybe scored or something, but that's one of the players when I see it because it's a highlight. When I see it, I'm like, damn, I feel like I could have done more.
Yeah, that's all. It's always every time I ever see it, it's always you guys. Like Neighbors, it was getting tackled. We had Ted McMillan on earlier, and he got stopped at the 1 time.
Right.
It's always you catch it, you don't get it.
Don't get me started on the 1 yard. The 1
exactly.
yard, I've had it like at least 6 or 7 in my career. It's
exactly.
crazy.
All right. Anything else we need to know about Little Caesars?
I mean, that's really it. Super Bowl Sunday is coming. I won't be watching it here. I'll be watching it back home.
In LA?
Back in California, yep. Family and friends, and I'll be having some Little Caesars with me.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, Sauce Gardner is here, one of the best defensive backs in football. What's going on, bud?
Man, it's great to be here, man. I'm here on behalf of Q-Collar, man. It's just great vibes out here in San Fran, for sure.
All right. Let's start here at Radio Row. Coolest person you've seen so far is who?
In life?
In Radio Row.
Radio Row.
Or outside, whatever.
I don't know. Probably, who have I seen? I haven't really looked around. I don't really, whenever I'm going somewhere, I be like focused. Like I don't be looking.
It's crazy.
I don't really know.
It's
I mean, I seen Shannon Sharpman, Ocho.
There you go.
Those are
right
always good people to see, especially Ocho, because that was my favorite receiver when I used to play receiver. So
really,
yeah.
What did you like about his game?
He was very he used to talk trash.
Yeah.
Very confident. And he backed it up on the field. So.
Did you talk a lot of? Do you still talk a lot of trash?
I never was that huge of a trash talker unless somebody started talking trash to me.
Right.
For, like, on the field. I used to talk more trash, like, in high school, college. But, like, my junior year in college and then in the league, like, I respect the game so much. I just appreciate every, like, snap that I could be out there on the field. Every game I could play. So, yeah.
All right, so you didn't play either of these Super Bowl teams this year, I don't think. But obviously – played the Patriots last year. Sam Darnold's been around for a long time. So let's start here. This Drake May leap, this jump, like what have you noticed on tape from him year 1 to year 2? And just the fact that the Patriots have Stephon Diggs now, like what have you seen from this Patriots offense that is just night and day different than what you've seen from last year?
I remember playing Drake May. He always was able to scramble. That's just, but I could see he's more decisive and more confident when he's on the field. So, as a quarterback, that's all. Like as a coach, that's all you can ask out of your quarterback. Whether it's the OC, head coach, no matter what. I would say he's very decisive and confident. Even at times where he do throw picks, a lot of the picks, if it's not like a tip ball or something, like it's a decisive throw. Like that's what he trusted his guy, and it just didn't work out that way. But
Other side, Jackson Smith-Njigba is as good as there is right now. Like it's incredible. We had Cooper DeJean on. He's talking about how neutral his routes are. He never gives anything away when you're watching him. When you just watch him, just sitting at home, what do you see from him?
It might be an O State thing because I know Garrett is that same way. Like you can't really tell.
Yeah.
And Jackson is like a little bit more smoother with it in terms of like he be looking so like Garrett at least give you a little hezzy, like a little bit more to it. And then boom, boom, oh snap. Like Jackson is like, you really just, it's just like, bro, what is he doing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, you know, he's a top guy. He's an elite receiver. You know, I remember when we played Seattle when I was with New York, I guarded him a few times, but he was mainly in the slot.
Yeah.
The couple times I guarded him, I was like, all right, he's all right. But you can tell, like, you know, you can unlock certain people's abilities when you put them in different positions. Yeah. So now he's playing a lot more outside too. Like, it's a lot of things that he's capable of doing, you know, deep threat and stuff like that also. So, yeah.
Other side of the ball for Seattle, their secondary, I mean, it's not Legion of Boom, but Nick Eamon-Warry is a stud. You have cornerbacks all over the place who are really good. What have you seen from that Seattle secondary? They looks like one of the best in the league right now.
My dog, Kobe.
There you go.
Kobe
there you go.
Safety, you know, we played college together.
Oh, I know it.
The ones that don't know, I know you know, but, you know, it's just great seeing him in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
I was just texting him. I'm like, bro, because he texted me. I'm like, bro, I said I wasn't going to text you till after you win the Super Bowl. Like, why you texting me right now, bro? I was going to wait till after you win. Like, but, you know, you got Woolen. Woolen, he did some crazy junk the last game, the little penalty, but he was having fun. Like, and he do a very good job in terms of coverage and everything like that, you know, and having fun with it. Witherspoon, he's a guy like a high motor.
Absolutely.
Could do it all. You know what I'm saying? Who am I missing? Oh, the rookie. How you say his last name?
Eamon-Warry.
They
call him Demon-Warry, which I love. That's a pretty good nickname.
He's been able to do it all for sure. Like, they put him in position where he got to cover. Yeah. He's coming down, make tackles. Can be a ball hawk as well. So, you know, and they all complement each other well. Yeah. So, you know, it's great to see them all doing their thing for sure.
You can take this anywhere you want it. What's the biggest difference you've noticed from the Jets franchise to the Colts franchise?
Say a little bit more structure. And when I say that, it's not a thing where it's just like, it's because Aaron Glenn just got there. So, and he's a man of structure. The same with Moogie. So they're implementing that because it wasn't really there as much. And, you know, it was turning, but obviously that coaching staff has been there, ownership has been there. So they already did it, GM and stuff like that. They already did it. But I know most likely this year, you know, that's going to be a change. Yeah. And I know, like, the Jets are going to have way more structure because AG the head coach, you know, and he's a guy of, I want this needs to be that way. This is my way of doing it. And, you know, he know how to put the players in the best position as well, whether it's on the field, whether it's how meetings should go, any of that, like practice habits, pre-practice habits and stuff like that. So I would say the structure for sure, but ain't no doubt in my mind that the structure going to be through the roof since AG got a whole, you know.
Yeah, so I was going to ask, but obviously you care about the people who are Jets fans, care about the people in the building. You know, there's optimism that will get turned around in Florham Park.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I have a lot of optimism and Aaron Glenn, Moogie, some of the players that are still there. I know how they wired because I played with them. And,
Yeah. And the Colts, obviously, Daniel Jones gets hurt, changes the entire trajectory of the season. But I'm asking every player this. If this time next year you're practicing today and somebody else is sitting in this chair and you're out because you're in the Super Bowl, why did the Colts make the Super Bowl? What did you guys do?
We kept the same formula that we had last season before injuries popped up and before some of the mishaps popped up. Yeah. You know, we kept that formula that, you know, our GM, our head coach, all our coaches has been preaching, and, you know, it worked out for us.
Yeah.
You know, that formula.
I love it. Let's do some rapid fire. Hardest receiver in the league to cover?
I'll probably say Garrett Wilson, my ex-teammate.
What is so good about him? I don't disagree. He's really good.
No, like you said, like decisiveness, like, you know, a lot of people, it was hard for people to see all that he can do because, you know, he don't always get the same treatment. Like, he don't, like, he's not just getting put on the island all of the time. Obviously, sometimes Pat, it's been like that with Pat, but a lot of times it's teams that defense playing too high. Yeah. And, all right, it might be a double, all right, because the safety leaning and they don't think the other receiver on the other side can get open against man with no help. So, you know, but he's very decisive. Like, it's hard to predict what he's going to do, so you just got to react. And sometimes by the time it's time to react, it's too late. So,
yeah. Great point. Most underrated player in the league?
Alec Pierce.
Oh, wow.
Alec Pierce. I might be being a little biased.
You are a little bit biased, but he's a stud. He's always open.
Yeah, a lot of people already been giving him some praise, so I don't know. But he's a top guy. He's a receiver one for sure.
All right, we do something called badasses. Most badass teammate you've ever had, the toughest, the guy who hits the hardest or plays the ring, whatever it is. Who's your badass?
C.J. Mosley.
There we go. Why?
He ain't really used to smile too much, especially on the field. And anytime it was a run play or anything like that, he hit you. You know, and just the way he was wired, the way he carried himself.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Definitely had that mentality.
We do something called one rep back. You get to redo any play of your career. Maybe you screwed up. Maybe somebody else screwed up. Whatever it is, you get to redo it, have it back. What play are you going with?
Probably. I mean, I got a couple. I do want to get that Dallas play back where I dropped a pick my rookie year. But probably the play against the Cowboys when George was on that post. I was supposed to play low hip technique because we was playing like a too high, and it was like a busted coverage where like our safety wasn't there. And that's how the post was able to go over there. I wish I just didn't listen and just played on top of the route like I usually would play in any other coverage besides that one.
I like that.
So he went feeling himself after that play. You know?
Quarterback that you have the best chess matches with?
I don't play chess.
No, I mean, like, you don't like.
Oh, you're talking about like chess. I don't know. I want to say A-Rod.
Oh.
A-Rod, that was he'll get the most. I ain't gonna say always get the most out of me. We used to go back and forth on practice sometimes. But I remember we played Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh was a little better. It was a little bit more in my favor a little bit that time. But, you know, he's extremely intelligent. Easily the smartest quarterback that I've ever.
He'll screw with you. I saw the clip where he's like against the Bucs, I think, in practice, where he's like telling the pass rusher, like, you're not blitzing, you're not actually blitzing. Right. Like, he knows, and then he's not afraid to screw with you a little bit.
Right. Yeah. He's the type of person, and Matt Stafford did it with Willen the last time the Rams Seahawks played. If you talk trash, they're gonna be like, we're about to go at you and see what you were talking about. Like, they're not the type of person like, oh, he talking trash, let me go somewhere else. They like, oh yeah? All right, bet, watch this. Like, you know.
Awesome. All right, tell us what you're doing with Q collar.
Man, you know, the crazy thing about it is before I started wearing a Q collar, I got my name on it too. My teammate Braylon Allen was wearing it, and I was like, bro, what is that? Because I thought it looked a little unique and nice. And he was just telling me like what it could do, how it prevents your brain from shaking so much, you know, when it comes to collisions and stuff like that. And, you know, we play football, so it's always a lot of those. So I tried it, and I'm like, yo, that didn't feel too bad. Like, after making certain tackles, like not experiencing brain fog, then after the game, not having any delayed headaches and stuff like that. So I'm like, all right, this is what I want to incorporate this into my like what I wear, game in, every day, every game, every pattern practice and stuff like that. It feels comfortable, looks swaggy, and it's good for my brain, you know. And I always want to have like some type of advantage, you know, and especially when it comes to my brain because, you know, it's life after football as well.
Yep.
So,
all right. Sauce Gardner, thanks so much, man.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, man. All right, Kirk Cousins is here from Great Clips. We were talking earlier, Aiden Hutchinson has a hair thing as well, and I said I liked my hair in this more than here, and he said it's okay. But then I said, a lot of people, when this first dropped 3 years ago when I first joined ESPN in Omaha, said, that's Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I can see it.
Am I beating the, like, what, is it me or you? Was there some art? I don't know who the artist was.
The eyes are brown.
Yeah,
but
I have blue eyes.
You and I both don't have brown
So
eyes.
it's a third person.
Yeah.
The artist was just doing somebody else.
The stubble works for both of us.
Yep. Yep. How often do you wear ties?
Yeah. Do we have the same color hair?
Kind of. It depends. You need to grow it out.
Yeah. I don't know how to grow it out.
Yeah. Are you scared to compete? Maybe.
I always go to Great Clips like every 3
there
weeks
it is.
and just get it.
Great Clips.
I can do this all day, man.
You can all right. He's here with Great Clips, so let him talk about that here. And we'll get to that at the end. Let's start here. Do you like Radio Row?
Yeah, I do like Radio Row. I like people. I'm an extrovert, so I think the energy and seeing a lot of familiar faces, especially guys I haven't seen in a long time, like Charlie Batch walking by.
That's it.
Really good people. So I enjoy it. It can wear you down by the end of the week, but I think it's a lot of fun.
Who's the coolest person you've seen?
I mean, Charlie Batch
is the man.
Doug Flutie's a great guy. Emmett Smith. Chris Sims was fun to catch up with.
Yeah, love Sims.
There's all kinds of guys.
I love
It's been
Sims.
good. Rich Gannon. I'm looking forward to seeing John Gruden later today. So, yeah.
John Gruden and Rich Gannon running into each other on the street was electric, wasn't it?
That was fun.
That's what it's all about.
Anything with John Gruden is electric.
It's unbelievable. Did you do his QB camp years ago?
I did his QB camp. He announced my bowl game back in the 2011 season, my last college game. He was the announcer. So he had me come in to do a QB camp in advance of the bowl game.
Whoa.
So I got to do the QB camp twice, if you will. I did it once for the game and then once for the draft, and then followed up once Jay Gruden was our head coach. I kind of kept in touch with John then in the offseason to try to, get some work done there when he was still broadcasting. And so he's been a bit of a mentor of mine for years, and really enjoyed his input.
When I was growing up, Jay Gruden, I grew up in Orlando. Jay Gruden was the Orlando Predators.
We live in Orlando in the offseason.
Oh, I know.
So that's, we look alike, same town. What part of O-Town were you in?
Downtown.
Okay,
Downtown.
like Delaney Park?
Like Delaney Park. I was a Delaney Park little leaguer.
Yeah, okay.
We'll get a photo of me up there. I was on the Delaney Park Cardinals.
Good spot to grow up.
It's a great spot to grow up.
I think Jeff Driscoll might have lived around there for a little while he was playing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, he didn't go to high school
downtown.
downtown.
We're on the southwest side of the city, so we're pretty far. But my parents live in Belle Isle.
That is so close.
Got a lot of family in Orlando.
That is your brother's family zoned for Boone High School?
They are zoned for Boone High School.
Are they going to go?
His wife went to Winter Park. And
we can't be doing that. We got to be Boone Braves.
They're zoned for Boone. So
okay, we got to go.
We got to go. Coach there. I've worked out there.
You've worked out at Boone High School?
I worked out at Boone High School. Oh, yeah. Is that where you went?
Yes.
Okay, Boone Braves.
This is
I've been
unbelievable.
there. Yeah, I've seen it all.
I can't believe you've worked. I'm
an adopted son of Orlando. I'm becoming one, I guess.
Gotcha, but it's not like, all respect to Boone Braves, it's not like you're at, they didn't exactly put like an $80 million facility. That's not like one of these Texas high schools.
It's a nice turf field.
It's a nice turf field.
Yeah,
I just like that you're there.
That's all we need.
Like there, you get great, great coffee shops around there. You're all good, man. You're all good. I love this. I did not expect Boone Braves.
I didn't know you had Orlando ties. So.
Oh yeah, no, I'm all in.
A lot of great clips in Orlando too.
A lot of great clips.
I've been to 2 of them.
Yes. Wait, there's one. Yeah, there's one like Orange Avenue right there.
Yep. I've been to the ones closer to Disney. Celebration.
I'm going to Disney on Monday.
Might see you there.
Really?
Yeah, I'll be in Orlando Sunday night watching the game.
Let's go. All right, we'll just get a little watch party going at Great Clips, maybe that.
Maybe.
Let's talk a little football. So I was thinking about this. Sam Darnold's journey. It's not exactly similar to yours.
Yeah, I wish I went top 5. Yeah. I didn't go top 5. I wish.
But you got a great opportunity with your first team and whatever. But he went Jets. They failed him. You end up in Carolina. Terrible situation. You get saved by a Minnesota infrastructure that you know very well, and then you go to Seattle. I'm curious. If an NFL team was asking you what lessons they should learn from Sam Darnold and his emergence, what would you say to them?
You win with team.
Yeah.
And team isn't just, receivers or running back. It's defense. It's coaching staff. It's scouting department. It's everybody involved. That's what makes it the greatest game, is because it does take so many pieces to come together. And I think Seattle has brought a lot of those pieces together. And, Sam's been a big part of that, of finding that piece at quarterback that you feel is going to help you, and he's done a great job. And I think Sam, lived the other side where you didn't feel like he had all the pieces you need to be successful, and he gets to San Fran as the backup, and you can kind of get a taste of what it could be or should be, and then last year in Minnesota and now in Seattle.
Yeah, no, it's really incredible. And then Drake May, obviously, again, different top 5, but having success. The Patriots professionalized the offensive line, got him skill guys. He takes this massive leap. Quarterback position far better than I do. What have you been impressed by with Drake May that I wouldn't have noticed?
Well, I just think he's got a good way about him. I think it's not too big for him.
Yeah.
I was able to get around him a little bit last year at Super Bowl week, and you could just tell that, he's got a good head on his shoulders, and he's going to be fine. They finally, gave him some of those pieces you need, the Stephon Diggses and even Josh McDaniels, and some of those things it takes to be successful, and I think that's really helped him. And and he's been a gamer. He's made the plays that you need to make to get to where they are. They've won a lot of games, and what a great opportunity on Sunday on a big stage.
Yeah. Curious, obviously, you got playing left in you, but 10 years from now, what do you think Kirk Cousins is doing?
Yeah, my wife and I ask that question a lot. I don't know. I do see myself being a pretty involved dad.
There you
My
go.
boys are 8 and 6, so I guess in 10 years they'll still be in the house. But in 12, 13 years they'll be out of the house. So over the next decade, I want to be pretty involved in their lives and coaching and all that. And then from there, I don't know what's going to happen, but keep an open mind and not rule anything out.
Did you like media?
I like media. I like being around the game, whether that's coaching or evaluating or media, but to still be around the sport, I think would be hard. It would be hard for me to not be around the sport. So if it's media, it's media, but in any way you can be around the game, I think it'd be great.
We had Joe Flacco on yesterday, and he went kind of viral for saying that, talking about the quarterback developmental issues and how, the narrative now is that, Phillip Rivers can come in, start throwing darts, manipulate the defense. Joe Flacco can come back every fall and just start putting defenses in hell in the way young quarterbacks can't. If Roger Goodell called you and said, Kirk, you had a great career, what should every team learn about how to develop quarterbacks? What would you tell anybody asking?
Well, I do think that there was a time when, Aaron Rodgers got drafted and sat for 3 years.
Yeah.
Carson Palmer got drafted and sat for a year. But there have been teams that have said that was the plan, and then week 4, 5, 6, the guy's playing.
Yeah.
So I also think that there was a time when coaches stuck around.
Yeah.
And a quarterback learned a system and played in that system for most of his career. And nowadays, you may, like, I've had 9 play callers in my career. There's a chance next year I'm on my 10th.
Oh my God.
And so, and I just had the quarterback coach of the Falcons reach out, and I told him, you're my 11th quarterback coach. So the turnover has both, coaches and teammates. I think that makes it really hard because it is such a team game. The position of quarterback requires a continuity around you that you just don't have anymore. And so the guys who, are on the back end and kind of been able to build up that experience can deal with that maybe a little more. But the young guys, you want to give them as much continuity as you can, and that just hasn't been the environment that many guys, including a Sam Darnold, have been given.
I saw it was like 21 new play callers or head coaches next year.
A lot of change,
crazy.
and so when you're asking a talented player to kind of rewire his brain to do something different, he's not going to be the same talented player because he's going to be a step slow and he's going to be learning and thinking again, and you want to take that thinking out of it. So the more you can be a Tom Brady or a Drew Brees who's been in the same system for 15 years, the better the quarterback play you're going to get.
This might be like picking your favorite child, but I'm going to have you do it. Favorite playbook you've ever had?
Well, I've had 9 play callers.
Yeah.
And I would say that, there were a few that you'd say really stand out. I was with Kyle Shanahan, really liked what he did, especially with the run game, the play action game. Was with Sean McVay, who's had a lot of success, really liked what he did. There were some differences, though. There were some subtle differences, and while they both have a lot of respect for each other and they certainly try to poach each other's good ideas, there's also differences, and you see that both work.
Yeah.
Gary Kubiak and Clint Kubiak was another one that I really loved their system, and you see how that can work, too. So I've been fortunate to be around some really good ones. It's made a big difference for my career, and I think those are some of the names that you say.
You're not going to
blessed
give
be
one.
with.
We're just going to throw them all in there, aren't we?
Yeah, I think
we're doing Mount Rushmore. The two Kubiaks,
They were all so
McVay and
good.
Shanahan.
Yeah, they were all so good, and I was grateful to get to be with them. Matt LaFleur is another one who
Yep.
I didn't have as a play caller, but would love, to have had as a play caller because he does do a great job.
Yeah, they're all amazing. Why does that tree work so well?
Well, I think it's a marriage of the run and pass.
Yeah.
It's an understanding of how defenses are trying to stop you. There's a true system where it's organized and you kind of build from April at OTAs. You have a foundation you build, and I think, it has an organized, systematic way of learning it, and then it's strategic in how they go about looking at the game.
Yeah. Last thing for you before we get to what you're doing with Great Clips, we have something called Badasses. It's the most badass teammate you've ever had, ever, ever, ever. We put them on a board back in New York, full of badasses, big photo of them. We know what that means. The meanest, toughest, the guy who was always putting himself on the line for his team. Who's Kirk Cousins' badass?
Well, the name that came to mind when you first brought it up is Trent Williams, just because I was thinking.
I think he's on the board like 4
pure
times.
Talent,
But yes,
and
absolutely.
He kind of has always had that alpha vibe to him.
Yeah.
He was the guy that when he was a rookie, nobody hazed or initiated, because he just had that way about him even as a rookie where he felt like he was a 10-year vet. So
That's awesome.
He comes to mind.
That's awesome. All right, what else do we need to know about Great Clips?
So did the partnership, going
Yeah.
back to the Netflix documentary we did.
There we go.
Great Clips showed up, and it's been kind of a natural fit for me. I go all over the country, and so can get my hair cut at any of their locations. It makes it super easy. I've often, left work and I need a haircut, and rather than have to plan it days or weeks ahead, I can just go on the online check-in, see what the wait time is, and then get right to the salon and get my haircut. So the fact that I can, get my haircut so efficiently, it can be so predictable with the way they do their clip notes, makes it really easy. So I'm a big Great Clips guy, just trying to spread the good news to anyone who wants to hear.
Nobody's paying me for this. I was once doing TV one time, and the hair, they do like hair and makeup and stuff, you know it. And this woman who does it professionally in New York goes, "This is the best haircut I've ever seen. Who cut your hair?" And I said, "Ma'am, I was at Bengals practice last week, and I needed a haircut, and I went to a suburban Cincinnati Great Clips, and I got this haircut." And that's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. I've lived that exact experience. So what I need to do is maybe skip a few Great Clips appointments to grow it out like you.
We can talk offline. We can talk about how this happens and Boone Braves football. Kirk Cousins, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.